We need to talk. We need to talk about this. This is going to be a really important lesson, I think, for a lot of us. These kind of upcoming, I guess, years or maybe like era, whatever you want to call it. But the stuff is changing online. A lot of things have changed and are still changing, and we are going through a very transient period of the internet's lifespan right now. And I feel like the way that I've been interacting with the internet has changed a lot over the past few years. There's been a very important lesson that I have had to learn to be able to navigate the internet at this day and age. I've decided to leave pretty much all social medias, and that was a really, really impactful decision for improving my mental health. The only platform that I'm really on at this point is YouTube, and I, occasionally go on like Instagram to post something or to respond to a message. But for the most part, I am pretty much exclusively far away from the social media culture at this point. And the reason why I made the decision for myself in the first place, even though it has obviously a pretty negative impact for me in terms of like being able to grow my online presence as like a YouTuber, it would be a lot easier if I was on these social medias kind of like cross-posting or whatever. But that is because I had to teach myself to protect my peace. This is such an important thing on the internet these days, is to know how to protect your peace. So this is not going to be a Minecraft related video, but there will be some Minecraft footage in the background. But I wanted to post it specifically on this channel because I honestly just feel like it's important enough where I want you guys all to see it. I can't really pinpoint to you when this change began, but for a while now, the way we interact with the internet, I feel has shifted and changed a lot. In the past, everyone would describe the internet as an escape from reality. It's a place where we would feel like we could be safe, and it would be a safe place for a lot of us. It would be a place where we can find other people like us, and to find friends, and to find community, and to watch videos that made us laugh or made us happy. The internet just felt so different back then. It felt like such a positive and optimistic place in a lot of ways. And of course, it was never perfect, but I'm sure that most of us can agree that for a while it was a very different place, and it was a place where we could actually feel at peace in a lot of ways. And lately, I don't really feel that way about the internet anymore, and I find myself constantly having to scroll back through the internet's history to actually find that sense of comfort and safety again. And what I mean by this is I have to resort to watching things that are like 6, 7, 10, 12 years old now on YouTube, because that sort of those sort of videos were just a lot more like simple and just lighthearted and not trying to grab your attention all the time. Whereas nowadays, a lot of the videos that I get recommended on my homepage is like that. It's always trying to steal something from you, it feels like. Either your attention or your money or your time or your sanity by feeding you just this crap. It's like a bombardment of freaking pain and anger and sadness, and like it's just so overwhelming. And no matter how many times I've had to scrub my homepage of these sort of videos, they would always come back. They would always seep themselves back into my suggestions, even though I'm telling the platform over and over again, do not recommend me these types of videos. And they would just keep doing it over and over again. And it's so hard to escape from these sort of videos because they just get pushed because they're the most attention-grabbing ones. And it's incredibly harmful to watch this type of content on a daily basis. And it's so much worse, I feel like, on other platforms like TikTok or Instagram or any like short form content sort of platform, because you are just being fed this repetitively. You have no say or choice in what sort of video you will be watching in that very moment. You scroll and you have no control over what you are being shown. And that is scary to me because if you are on these sort of platforms, think about how many things you wish you could unsee. Things that you have no reason, no business watching because it doesn't serve you in any way. It doesn't do you any good. If anything, you either forget about it the second later or it'll stay with you for way too long because it hurt you in some way. And I am so tired of seeing these sort of videos and these sort of like just this content on the internet. It's like, it's so sickening in a way. The internet was once an escape from reality, but nowadays I find myself having to escape from the internet back into the real world. I have to remind myself to go outside and just tell myself like the internet is a separate separate place. This is not reality. This is not what reality is. And remind myself that the real world exists out there and it is mostly fine. It is mostly normal. And we are all just living our lives like regular people. But the thing is that the internet is not just crap now. It's not all bad. There is still so much good out there. And I know that because I find that sort of stuff. I'm constantly on the lookout for really good content and videos and photos and just things on the internet that are being made by real people, by passionate, creative, wonderful people. Like, specifically talking about on YouTube, I'm constantly on the lookout for small creators, new creators, people who have something fun or interesting to share and to bring out into the world. And there are so many amazing people like that are still around. But the thing is, it is so much harder to find them these days because they are not what's being pushed anymore. It is mostly this rage bait, clickbait, like just content that's supposed to steal something from you. This is like scamming on a whole new level because you don't really even realize it. But yeah, I would consider all of these sort of trending videos that are just completely maddening. It's a scam to me because they are just taking things from you and you are not gaining anything out of it. It's stealing your time, your attention, your money, your peace. You need to protect your peace. This is a skill that we all have to learn to be able to navigate the internet right now and probably in the future, because I don't really know how the internet is going to look like in just a year or two from now, let alone 5-10 years. Who knows, right? But right now, so many things are changing, and this is a very important skill to learn. Protect your peace. Do not let the internet take control of your mind. First of all, remember that this is not a reflection of reality. This is such a curated, fake place. Even just me talking to the camera right now, this is a very controlled environment. I had to sit here and plan my thoughts and look presentable or whatever, and I'm like, this is obviously not a reflection of my life, but let alone the whole internet, right? That's a whole different level of pretty much fakeness. Nothing is as good or as bad as it seems, and that goes for real life and that also goes for the internet. A lot of the things that you see out there, no matter how believable they may be, there will always be another layer underneath that you will not see. There is so much good out there, but you need to know how to find it because it's becoming increasingly harder to navigate this place in a healthy way. You have to learn how to protect yourself from all the bad stuff that's going on and focus on the good. Not all of us can sit here for hours on end and handle a barrage of just negativity. It's everywhere. It's in the comments, it's in the videos, it's in the photos, it's in the news. It's inescapable. And that is not healthy. It's not normal. You should not feel like you have to take on all of this burden that the world and the internet is pushing onto you. It's not your responsibility. You do not have to be aware of every single problem in the world. That is feasibly impossible and totally unrealistic for anyone. So if you feel so deeply that you need to step away, do so. If you feel like your feeds are being completely bombarded with negativity and it's affecting your mental state, you need to step away. You need to learn how to block things, how to block people, how to disable things, and how to tell the algorithms that you are not interested in this type of content, because with enough pushback, you can make a positive change for your environment. On YouTube, what I have to do over and over again is tell YouTube that I'm not interested in certain types of videos. Usually this would just be anything super like rage baity or commentary-ish, things that are drama related or like talking about the state of the world in some sort of way. Because most of the time these videos are really not helpful to you as a person in any way. Sure, you may be more informed about something. In most cases, for most people, like it's completely pointless to know these sort of things. And I'm not saying to be completely like shut off to the world and like live under a rock, but you need to know your limit and you need to find like a balance for yourself that's actually reasonable, because you can't expect to give anything to anyone or to fight any sort of cause if you don't even have enough to fight for yourself. You need to prioritize yourself before you can prioritize anyone else. If you're on YouTube and you're tired of seeing negative content, please do yourself a favor. Click those 3 dots, click not interested, click hide this channel, like don't show this channel to me anymore. Do what you have to do to protect yourself. Because honestly, I'm sick and tired of seeing these types of videos over and over again. I don't really gain anything from them. If anything, they just leave me feeling so bad afterwards. A lot of times, these sort of videos completely change my whole day, because when I go on like a little watching spree of just weird negative drama, weird commentary that is about this bad thing that's happening. These sort of videos, they may be entertaining, but they ultimately leave me feeling a lot worse, and that follows me throughout the entire day. And I feel like I can't even move on from it until the next day starts. So it's like my whole day is gonna be like off-put and ruined because of the stuff that I chose to consume that day, that sort of content and media that I chose to watch. And it's taught me to really, really be careful with the stuff that I'm watching because it deeply affects me. And it may not be the same for everyone, but I know that I'm not the only one. I am very like emotionally affected by anything that I watch. For an example, the other day I was watching this show and it was already a very heavy show. And I finished the first season and I was mostly fine afterwards. It did leave me a little bit kind of like on edge. But then I started the second season and it threw me for such a freaking loop. I was completely unexpecting the traumatic event that would happen within that next season, and I was so affected by it. I had nightmares when I went to bed that night. I was incredibly put off. I was paranoid. I was scared. I was constantly thinking back to what I saw. I cried a lot while watching it, and it just really, really negatively impacted me. A show that's completely fiction, let alone like videos talking about real things going on in the world. A show did this to me. It like completely threw off a good few days for me. I had to stop watching it. I just decided to look up the ending on the internet to just give myself that closure to the story, and then I was like, nope, no more. I can't. Like, I seriously can't. And then after watching that, I decided to watch this video on YouTube that I didn't really know what it was about at first. It was a Solar Sands video, and it was called Humanity's Greatest Sin or something like that. Lo and behold, it was a sin, alright. Oh my god, it was about freaking factory farming, animal cruelty, horrible, horrible, horrible real life stuff, and it made me feel so deeply terrible. So deeply terrible. I was crying. I was really, really affected by it. And it's even worse because that's like real life stuff. That's stuff that you leave that video knowing that this horrible stuff is happening in this world. And that's just awful. And it's great that I was able to be informed, but at what cost? At what freaking cost? And that's like the tricky part about these things is like you want to be in the know, you want to be able to help, you want to, advocate for what you believe in, but you can't do it at the cost of your sanity. So that was a pretty big reminder to myself of why I decided to start using the internet in a different way lately. And then I slipped, as sometimes I do, sometimes you'll just end up watching the wrong thing or seeing the wrong thing and it'll stay with you for a while. And yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video, is because I had those few days where I was reflecting on this. Like, I need to be careful with what I watch because it really, really does affect me. The internet is full of just crazy, crazy stuff that you would be better off not seeing. There are so many better things you could be watching, so much good you could be doing with your time rather than just spending it scrolling through an endless feed of misery and doom, because it's not a reflection of the real world, no matter how bad it seems. So please, 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 protect your peace. Go out of your way to block things you do not want to see. It's serious. Like, I don't want everyone out there to be constantly miserable just because of what they see online. If you enjoy watching certain videos, maybe you're really into, I don't know, for me personally, I really love watching like old Minecraft Let's Plays and stuff like that. Stuff that just puts me into like a very peaceful, happy mood, that sort of stuff. I will watch that whenever I feel a little bit like upset because it comforts me. And lately I've been watching a lot of just really feel good videos, no matter what they are. Like, I just really try to stay in a good spot when I'm on the internet because it helps me feel just a little bit better, I try to watch things that inspire me. I try to watch things that make me happy, that make me feel calm. And actually, after I had that kind of thing with all this bad stuff that I was watching, I went back to just watching some comforting videos that I have watched 1,000 times because it made me feel so much better. It eased my soul and it helped me calm down. So I just try to really pick and choose what I watch on the internet because it really does affect me. And I think it affects everyone to a certain extent, even if you may be less like emotional or sensitive compared to like my reaction. Still, like it will still leave some subconscious effect to you no matter what. No matter if you're the most macho, strong, healthy minded person in the world, you're still consuming that and it's still going into your brain in one way or another. So just keep that in mind, okay? Please protect yourself. Please keep yourself safe. Just take care of yourself because the internet is really, really messed up in a lot of ways, but there is still so much good out there and I just want you to be on the lookout for it. Try to push yourself away from the negative stuff out there if you can. Be responsible with your own mental health and with your well-being, okay? I just wanted to share that because I think it's really important and I know that a lot of us are going through a lot of stuff lately and the internet's current state is definitely not helping, but there are still a lot of things you can do to make it a bit of a more enjoyable place for you. And I think for the most part the way that I am on the internet these days is pretty good. Like when I'm being responsible, I'm pretty well off on the internet. I scroll through really fun and inspiring Pinterest pictures. I'll watch really fun videos that put a smile on my face or teach me something new or inspire me or like is about something that I'm really interested in. And yeah, there is still a lot of good things out there that you can find. So just look out for them, okay? And look out for yourself. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video. I know this is not Minecraft related. This is a Minecraft channel, but we'll make an exception today because it's important, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a really good day and I wish you a lot of love and joy and peace and I hope you have a really, really great day. Thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bye!